You have seen this chair on almost every one of my videos, but actually never formally reviewed it. So that's the goal of today's video. I'm going to tell you more about the Kinnarps Plus. This is Kinnarps Plus 8, but we'll talk about the difference between Plus 6 and Plus 8 as well. And at the end of the video, I'll share with you the distribution network of Kinnarps. Let's first look at the functions of the chair. As very often, not all chairs, but most chairs, the height adjustment is on the right side. So here you can sit, you see, quite high till here. So, you know, I'm 50% of the Western population, say, and you see, I'm here sitting. Well, I could be sitting a bit higher, but at the minimum of the chair, it's okay for me. So you see that on that standard gas spring, well, the chair is not meant for people who are 1 meter 50 something. Then under the seat pan, we have, like in the old cars, the seat pan adjustment, which is here. And same, you know, here I have 2 fingers margin, which is okay, no problem, but shorter people might find this too deep for them. For short people, I recommend the Kinnarps 5000, which is 4 centimeters shorter than this one in terms of seat depth, based on more or less the same elements for the rest. Then we have on the right side also, at the back of the chair, the adjustment of the tilt mechanism. You see that on this chair, there's a synchronization between the backrest angle and the seat pan angle. Well, this is called this asynchronous mechanism, and this is what you find on the Plus 8. On the Plus 6, this part and that part are going to move completely freely with respect to each other, meaning that you can do some fine adjustment. That's the positive thing about it. The less positive thing about it is that many people will feel lost with a chair that moves in every direction if it's left unlocked. Although you can adjust the resistance, of course, under the chair here. In practice, I use Plus 8 for 95+% of my clients. I will recommend the Plus 6 when there's a very special condition which makes me do a very precise adjustment, for example, in the hip joint or so, and I need a very specific angle. Well, then that might be a reason to choose the Plus 6, but then I don't want anybody to touch the chair anymore. So you see, as a collective chair, this one is better. Some more features. In the backrest here, you have a plastic button that allows you to seat the to lift the backrest or to bring it down. It's not extremely intuitive to understand that it's got to be pushed outwards, but once you find it, it's okay. Now, on this model, we have the armrest of the Type 4, which has those which I always recommend. They are great armrests. They can be adjusted in width here. They can be adjusted in height, they can be adjusted in depth, and they can be rotated as well. What I love with these armrests is that they are really soft and padded. It feels like a keyboard wrist rest, you know, it's really super comfortable. And last but not least, we have here the headrest, which is the most adjustable headrest I know. I mean, even resellers, other friends of mine, have told me they've never seen such an adjustable headrest. So this is clearly the best of the market and one of the best features of the chair, definitely. Now, what can I tell you about this chair? Well, first I can tell you a bit of history. How I started to work with Kinnarps was before I was working for an international organization, and we had to create a tender for 500 chairs. And we had back then 40 around nationalities in the company, and therefore we needed a chair that was very adjustable from very small people to very tall people. And back then, the tender ended with the choice of the Kinnarps 6000, which was the predecessor of the Plus 6. And for short people, we had a short seat pan and a low backrest. And for tall people, we just put this configuration, standard configuration, but with a big gas spring. And with these variants, we could cover really 90+% of what people needed, and they loved the chair for many years. So that's how I then stayed with Kinnarps also when I changed company. These Plus models don't offer anymore the possibility to have a shorter or longer seat pan. The seat pan is standard, only the backrest is high or low. Honestly, from an ergonomic perspective, it doesn't make such a big difference, apart from the fact that the headrest makes sense on the high backrest, because if the backrest lands in the middle of your shoulders, well, why should you care about a headrest? So the medium backrest would make sense only, one, for short people, two, if it's cheaper in your country. If not, go for the high backrest. Now, this chair has also some pros and cons, like every chair. The first thing I'd like to mention is something that was told to me by a reseller a few weeks ago, is that the base, the caster, is ugly. Well, I've been sitting on the chair for many, many years. I never noticed it, but now that I look at it, yeah, okay, I understand it's ugly. It's just black plastic. Okay, done. Now, two other drawbacks of these chairs, maybe three. The number one is not really a drawback, it's a property. But you see, there's a lot of free space behind my shoulder blades, although I feel extremely well supported in my lower back. But people who don't know how to sit well will be disturbed by this gap behind their shoulder blade, and they might have the tendency to sit like this, which is uncomfortable. So you see, this is a chair rather for people who know how to sit, who know that it's normal to be supported in the lower back, but not at shoulder blades level, and the support around your shoulder blades will come into play only when you recline. So if someone doesn't know how to sit, or a tendency to be slightly like this, that's not a chair on which he or she will feel immediately comfortable. Second drawback, you can see on my older videos that before I had a fabric headrest, which was getting dirty by time, and then I replaced it with some kind of, fake leather headrest, which got damaged by time. And that was resolved by changing a third time for the real leather headrest, which is not even more expensive than the fake leather, and now there's no problem anymore. So that chair should only be taken, if you choose to take it with a headrest, with the real leather headrest. Second drawback of this chair is that as the armrests are soft and padded, it is a bit of a fragile part. I've been sitting on my chair for now 5 years, and rather well, and actually around the corners here it started to get a bit damaged, and therefore I have to change the soft part here after now 5 to 6 years, something like this. It can also get damaged when people sit too close to the desk, and the desk will come and hit that. Although the armrests are very adjustable and should normally be able to either slide under the desk or be pulled back, but yeah, that part is maybe a bit more fragile than the rest of the chair. For the rest, I can tell you that this is a chair that I have distributed many times to many people, and everybody was extremely happy with it, and they felt that they were really super well supported in their lower back. So it's not my chair for nothing. It's a chair that I really love in terms of sitting comfort. I would say its last drawback is that it's not well distributed worldwide. In the US, for example, it's only distributed as a new product B2B, so business to business, meaning that the only way for our friends in the US to purchase it is to get it on the second-hand market. With all these options, so the top, the good armrests, the leather headrest, and no special gas spring, this chair in Europe, in Switzerland where I am, costs around $1,300, so $1,300, which makes it quite inexpensive compared to all its qualities, and compared to competitors, for example, such as Herman Miller. So in terms of quality price ratio, I love Kinnarps. Bear in mind that for smaller people, I would rather go to the cheaper 5000 model, which is shorter and which has the great headrest, the great armrest, and which has the same comfort, although you will probably not be able to have the headrest on the 5000.